Hi friends, it's Lexi, and today I had this idea for a video where I basically just film myself doing a real client reading and walk you through what I'm doing. Giant disclaimer, this is what I do and you do not have to do this. I am not encouraging you to follow what I do, that my way is the right way or the only way. I also want to add that I've conducted readings in the weirdest locations, circumstances, at the most unexpected times, and those are still valid readings. I don't do all readings in this way. You do not need extra tools or incense or whatever I'm about to use. But when it comes to client readings, I just wanted to share my regular process and what I do. So here we are, and here we go. What you see me doing here is just setting up and prepping everything. This is a real tarot reading for a real person. I have obtained permission from the person who I am reading for to film this. It's someone I know well enough where I feel comfortable asking her for this, and she trusts me not to go entirely broadcasting her reading on the internet. So with that out of the way, now that I'm done basically just cleaning up, laying down the materials I need, lighting incense, I pick out the things that I feel I need for this particular reading, and that can change depending on who I'm reading for, what the reading is, and just generally what feels right for the moment. I have chosen to spray my space with this spray that I like to use prior to divination and client readings. This is a custom spray that I made myself, but there are some awesome aura sprays out there if you look for them, and this really just sets the tone and sacred space I'm looking for. I'm also lighting the candle and incense for this reading. If you can't tell, I'm someone who's really sensitive to and cares a lot about scents. They really build the atmosphere and energy for me in a reading, so I really go all out on them. This reading in particular is a soulmate reading, so I am picking out minimum 2 decks, one of which is going to be my Only Time Will Tell Oracle, and the second has to be a tarot deck of some kind for this specific kind of reading. I cleanse my decks with incense preferably, but not always. It's just my preferred method of doing so. Obviously, many people don't do this method for a variety of reasons, like being sensitive to smoke or not wanting your cards to smell like incense or all of the above. So if you're looking to cleanse your decks and can't or don't want to use incense, don't worry, there are plenty of ways to do it. Again, this is just my way of doing it. Okay, and now that everything is all laid out and we have the atmosphere prepared, decks are cleansed, and we are good to go, I take a moment to just sit and call upon my clients' guides, invite them to the table if they haven't popped in already. And until I feel that presence, I don't really tend to like shuffling yet. This step, like all the other steps, is very optional. I'm of the belief that tarot readings do not ever have to be spiritual experiences. Intuition tends to transcend all religions, spiritual practices, and whatnot. So definitely ignore this part entirely if you wish. I can expand on this section in a later video if it interests you, but for now I'm just going to proceed with the rest of the reading. In a soulmate reading, I have a process of sorting decks that I won't dive into too deeply here. These readings are readings that I have been doing since the opening of Light Ones in 2016, so I don't need the spread out in front of me, but sometimes you can just put the spread right in front of you if you want. I personally use a journal, and that works for me. Sometimes it's even nice to just have it there to double check myself to make sure I'm not forgetting a card position or anything like that. Okay, and once everything is all laid out, I just like to look over everything. For me, the process of pulling out cards and seeing everything together is like a conversation. If something doesn't make sense, I'll probably literally ask it out loud, like, wait, what does that mean? And pull again, and maybe it'll click in my head once I ask, because I'm working with spirit guides here, and I never really feel alone in the process, no matter if that sounds crazy or weird to you, depending on your spiritual or religious belief. And after that's done, I'll take a photo of the spread and send it to my computer. I can't show you me taking a photo because I'm using my phone to record, and I use my phone to take photos. But once that's out of the way, here's probably the least interesting thing to look at that happens, which is just me typing up the reading. Depending on the reading, I usually go through each card and or spread position one by one. I break down what everything is, what it means. I also like to make note of any random messages, physical sensations, or intuitive feelings I got separate from cards in the reading before even breaking down the spread, and I make it clear that those are intuitive messages that I got completely separate from the cards. Usually this happens when I'm conducting spirit readings themselves because that's where my focus is. In soulmate readings, not so much. Depending on the length of the reading, the writing process can take me anywhere from 15 minutes to multiple hours. A soulmate reading will usually take me half an hour to an hour to finish writing up. And when that's done, I save the PDF, throw it in an email, send it out, and mark the order as shipped, and that's it. I then clean everything up. If you can see, I actually say thank you to each tool that I brought out, just a little gratitude to everything and everyone, in the case of spirit guides, that helped me to conduct the reading for someone else. And that's that. I reserve the right to change my reading process. We all grow as readers over time, and sometimes things change too over time, and maybe someday I'll want to blast music while I read cards and will disavow my incense, candles, and sprays, who knows. I will still be doing pick a card readings, but sometimes I think I'd like to branch out into other content like this, so watch out for that. And I hope you enjoyed this video. I would appreciate if you liked, commented, and subscribed. If you did, feel free to tell me about your reading process below. Bye, everybody.